What if the best AI tool idea is not the one you randomly brainstorm, but the one real search signals point you toward? Today, I'm testing Step 3.7 Flash from StepFun AI to answer one question: what type of AI tool should I build next? Are you guys excited? Let's get started. So, this is a case study about search built into reasoning, and I'm not asking for a random list of startup ideas. I want Step 3.7 Flash to search, compare, evaluate, and recommend one AI tool opportunity based on real market signals. The final recommendation is a tool concept called ClipBrief AI. Awesome, right? ClipBrief AI helps creators turn long videos, podcasts, webinars, interviews, and live stream into short content packages, captions, thumbnail directions, quote highlights, newsletter ideas, and positioning plans. But I did not start with that idea, right? I started with a simple question, and Step 3.7 Flash used search as part of the reasoning process to help me decide what was worth building. The question I gave Step 3.7 Flash was this: what type of AI tool should I build for creators, small businesses, solo founders, agencies, or professionals? I wanted the model to focus on repeated pain points, not hype. So the prompt was the following: act as a search-powered AI product strategist. Find what type of AI tools are in demand right now. Focus on creators, small businesses, solo founders, agencies, and professionals. Search for repeated problems, compare categories, explain these signals, and recommend one tool idea with the strongest opportunity. Now, the key instruction was this: don't just brainstorm, right? Use search to support the decision. Now, that is the main storyline of this video. Step 3.7 Flash is not only answering a question, it is running a decision workflow. Here's the real setup process. Now, let me show you the actual process, okay? Let's do it. So, as you can see on the screen, I'm going to open StepFun platform and select Step 3.7 Flash. Then I paste the main product research prompt. Now, the prompt, like I said, asks for 5 things, right? First, search for market signals. Second, identify repeated user pain points. Third, compare possible AI tools categories. Fourth, score each demand category using demand, pain intensity, repeat usage clarity, and monetization potential. And fifth, recommend one tool idea with a launch concept. And then I set the output format. I ask Step 3.7 Flash to return the result in sections: search queries, search findings, opportunity categories, score table, final recommendations, risks, and next step product brief. Now, this part matters because vague prompts usually create vague answers, right? And I want the workflow to be structured from the beginning so I can evaluate the result like a product research report. Next, I show the search configurations. The workflow asks Step 3.7 Flash to search around creator economy trends, AI creator tools, content repurposing, podcast workflows, short-form video growth, agency content operations, and small business automation needs. Then I run the workflow. At this point, I'm watching for something specific. I don't just want a final answer. I want to see whether search changes the reasoning. Now, that is the difference between a normal AI response and a search-powered decision workflow. Step 3.7 Flash begins by turning my broad questions into focused research angles. It looks at creator tools, content repurposing, customer support, research assistance, proposal writing, sales enablement, document analysis, meeting productivity, and personal workflow automation. Then it starts identifying repeated patterns. The first pattern is that people want AI tools that save time on repetitive work, right? The second pattern is that people want messy input turned into usable output. The third pattern is that the most valuable tools help users publish, respond, summarize, decide, or organize faster. Then the fourth pattern is that creators and agencies often already have raw material, but they struggle to turn it into consistent output. Now, that insight becomes important much later. You will see. Step 3.7 Flash then compares 5 possible AI tool categories. The first category is creator repurposing tools. Now, these help creators transform one piece of long content into many short-form assets. The second category is inbox assistance. These help small teams summarize messages, detect urgent customer issues, and draft replies. The third category is research brief generators. Now, these help professionals turn scattered information into structured reports. The fourth category is proposal assistance. These help freelancers and agencies turn client notes into polished proposals. The fifth category is meeting action tools. These turn conversations into decisions, follow-ups, and task summaries. Now, this is where the workflow becomes useful. Step 3.7 Flash is not giving every idea equal weight. It is comparing them against criteria. Now, let's score the opportunities. So I'm going to ask Step 3.7 Flash to score each category using 5 factors: demand, pain intensity, clarity, repeat usage, and monetization potential. The creator repurposing category ranks highest. Obviously, the reason is simple, right? Creators constantly need more output from the same original material. A podcast can become clips, a webinar can become short posts, a live stream can become highlights, a long tutorial can become hooks, captions, newsletters, quote graphics, and content ideas. The pain is repeated every single week. The workflow is easy to understand, the output is visible, and the buyer can immediately understand the value. But Step 3.7 Flash also warns me to not build something too broad. A generic AI content assistant sounds useful, but is hard to explain. A focused product is easier to understand and easier to test. So the recommendation becomes ClipBrief AI. And that's the winning tool idea. ClipBrief AI has a simple promise: turn long-form content into a short-form content package. The target users are creators, podcasters, coaches, educators, consultants, and agencies that already create long videos, webinars, calls, live streams, or podcasts. The main pain point is not creativity, it is extraction. A lot of creators already have valuable ideas hidden inside their long content. The hard part is finding the strongest moments, turning them into hooks, and adapting them for different platforms. Step 3.7 Flash defines the tool workflow like this. First, the user provides a transcript, summary notes, or long-form content. Second, the tool identifies the strongest moments, surprising claims, emotional stories, useful tips, strong opinions, examples, and quotable lines. Third, it creates a content package with short video hooks, captions, post ideas, newsletter sections, thumbnail angles, and suggested clip titles. Fourth, it ranks each output by clarity, emotional pull, and share potential. Fifth, it gives the creator a simple publishing plan. Now that is the value of search built into reasoning. The final idea is not random. It comes from comparing market signals, pain points, user types, and repeat usage. For this section of the video, I don't just describe the results, I show you the actual run. Here, as you can see, Step 3.7 Flash shows the search angles it used to understand the market. Here, it identifies that creators need faster ways to turn long content into multiple formats. Here, it compares the tool categories side by side. And here, it recommends ClipBrief AI as the strongest starting opportunity. Now, this is important because the goal is not to claim that the idea is guaranteed to succeed. The goal is to show the workflow that led to the decision. Now let me show you the basic performance signals from this run. From the first query to the final recommendation, the workflow took several minutes. Step 3.7 Flash triggered search multiple times during the process. It compared 5 AI tools categories. It produced one ranked recommendation. It also generated multiple key risks and multiple next step production suggestions. Now, the most useful metric for me was not just speed, it was how quickly I got to a usable decision. So instead of spending hours jumping between trends research, idea lists, and product notes, I had one structured workflow that moved from question to search, from search to comparison, and from comparison to recommendation. Now that is the efficiency gain. Search did not sit outside the process, it shaped the reasoning. Then I asked Step 3.7 Flash to pressure test the recommendation. It gives 3 main risks. Risk number 1, the content AI market is crowded. The fix is specialization. ClipBrief AI should not be positioned as a general writing assistant. It should focus on long-form creators and agencies that need repeatable repurposing packages. Risk number 2, generic outputs will not retain users. Now the fix is stronger scoring, platform-specific formats and outputs that feel ready to use. Risk-free, creators need control over tone. Now the fix is saved brand voice settings, edible output, and different style options for different platforms. This part makes the recommendation more useful. Step 3.7 Flash is not just selling the idea back to me, it is showing what could go wrong and how to make the concept sharper. So, my honest evaluation is that this workflow helps me choose better. Most AI brainstorming gives too many options. Step 3.7 Flash gave me a decision process. It searched for signals, organized the market, compared categories, scored opportunities, recommended one concept, and explained the risks. Of course, that does not guarantee success. I would still need to test the idea with real creators, agencies, and podcasters. I would still need to validate pricing, workflow fit, and output quality. But the starting point is much stronger than guessing. Instead of saying, I think this idea is cool, I can say, this idea came from a search-powered comparison of repeated pain points and market signals. ClipBrief AI could become a real creative workflow tool. A podcaster could use it after every episode. A coach could use it after every webinar, and an agency could use it to create content packages for clients. As well, a solo founder could use it to turn one long video into a week of posts. The production version could include saved brand voice, platform templates, content calendars, team review, and performance feedback. But the bigger point is not just ClipBrief AI, the bigger point is the workflow. Before building an AI tool, Step 3.7 Flash can help search the market, reason through these signals, compare opportunities, and decide what deserves attention. That's why the core narrative is search built into reasoning. So, if you're building AI agents, search-powered applications, coding workflows, or multi-modal systems, Step 3.7 Flash is worth testing. Try it yourself at platform.stepfun.ai and follow StepFun on YouTube for future updates. Link in description. You're welcome. Of course, if you have more questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you like the video, drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos and case studies on the best AI tools on the planet. Have a good one. Bye-bye.